Good evening, everybody. We got a packed house tonight, and welcome to the Westmont Village Board meeting for May 28th. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask our clerk to do roll call, please.
Sure. Mayor Nero.
Here.
Clerk Simsky. Here. Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Pirelli.
Here.
Trustee Plowman.
Here.
Trustee Scales.
Here.
Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Village Manager Gunther.
Here.
And Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Here. All right, if everybody could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, up first we have open forum, and we have a couple requests tonight. So up first is Bonnie Wayman Dodd. Please come on up. Hi, Bonnie.
Hello, everyone. I just want to call attention to something so that you can put it in the back of your minds when you're trying to put out communication data. So I'm part of the group that has conscientiously gotten rid of a lot of the media. So I rely a lot of times on what comes in the mail or the signs in front of the library or the fire department.
Sounds like a healthy thing to do.
Well, thankfully, the fire department is getting a new building, but also there went my communication. And with the tracks here, you know, we've got that street under construction, so I'm not always going across Cass where I would see the library. So, and I know I'm not alone in this. So I just want to call it to your attention when you're putting out information that some of us on the south side get forgotten. So, so don't forget about us. That's my only thing.
I will just say, if you're interested in getting village information on the website, we do have a notify me, so you can sign up to get emails that are pushed out from the village. So just want to make sure you know that's there. And the sign at the fire station is going up more quickly than the building will be.
Look at that. All right.
Just so you know. I don't usually respond, but I just wanted to at least point those out.
Thank you for that, Spencer, and thank you for coming. We appreciate the feedback. Okay, up next, Susan Steinmiller.
Good evening. Mr. Mayor, distinguished trustees, and fellow citizens. My name is Susan Steinmiller, and I'm a proud citizen of Westmont, the village that's the progressive village. My friends and I, we call it Westmont. I was a teacher. I taught for 35 years. I started my classes with a bell ringer to get the brain stimulated. So I'm going to stimulate your brain. Here's your question. What does Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Dave Durrison, Lady Gaga, Vincent van Gogh, Ernest Hemingway have in common?
What?
Okay. Consider these are revered figures that we have cheered on and admired throughout history. They all struggled with a mental health crisis. Abraham Lincoln used to lock himself in his son's room and sob for weeks.
Wow.
Martin Luther King tried committing suicide.
I didn't know that.
Ernest Hemingway, he did suicide. One of the best writers ever. And I can go on and on. You can research, or we can have more talk. I know you have a lot of important things.
That's okay.
Where the struggles they had. And as a teacher, I definitely saw it. Because my kids were not getting the help they needed. I taught Southside Chicago. It makes a difference to have the care, the social workers, and the counselors. Okay, so all these individuals came from diverse backgrounds, different decades, races, ages, politics, backgrounds, genders, sexual orientation, classes, and IQs. Mental health crises don't discriminate. And we now cannot deny that we know somebody that has it. Because I just gave you a list of probably every single one you knew. With this knowledge, I asked this board to endorse the Mental Health Referendum 708. Presently, Downers Grove Township is the only township out of 9 that does not have a local community mental health board. In order to have a mental health board, it has to be established and approved by the citizens. And we want to put it on the ballot in November. Here are the basic facts. The local community mental health board would have 7 to 9 volunteers. They would be appointed by the township supervisor, Kim Savage. They would oversee funding and coordinate comprehensive systems for mental health, substance abuse, intellectual and developmental disabilities. The funds would stay local and are determined by the township residents of where it goes. You might ask, how much is it going to cost you? About $66.67 a year, which is $5 and some change a month. Why do you want to support it? We'll help identify and fill service gaps through the community by making assessments. It will fund local organizations to improve care. They might send out a crew to analyze kids at a school, mental health, and provide them with intervention. Let me throw this in. Suicide is the #1 cause of death for teenagers. Think about that. So we need all the tools in our toolbox. And I'm hoping, as you get more and more information, because I'll be back, and I hope to sit down with some of you for coffee, or all of you, and answer the questions you have, because it's too important to ignore. So right now, Republican, Democrats, and Independents on my committee, our committee, are out searching for people that will just sign our petition to get it on the ballot. So there's your first information report. So
Thank you very much for coming. It's a very serious topic, and I know you reached out to me as well as some others village staff, so we appreciate the information. If there's anything else you want to share, continue emailing it, or you're more than welcome to come to every board meeting too you'd like. So thank you. Okay, we're moving right on to reports. Up first is mine. Just a little recap. I want to appreciate the entire board and all village staff that were able to make the State of the Village. I thought it was a wonderful presentation on where we are and where we're going. And special congrats to our village manager who's standing tall back there. But he did a wonderful job with the help of all the leaders here and staff to really map out the future here for our village. So I expect to see some publication of that video pretty soon in the near future. Moving on, One North Cast Community Meeting, June 17th at Holy Trinity, 5:30 p.m. Holiday Properties is coordinating a community meeting to invite the public to meet and discuss the potential project at One North Cast. This is not a village meeting, but the village agreed to help promote the meeting as this is an important project for our community. Developers do this all the time, and I highly encourage any residents that are interested to please attend. Everybody is invited. And something exciting, 4th of July is around the corner at Ty Warner Park. July 4th is on us, and we're going big for America's 250th birthday. Expect a big fireworks show, drone show, lots of exciting things to happen, and that just kicks off our America celebration, followed up by, and I don't want to discount the 4th of July, but on July 11th at the Taste of Westmont, we have Mark Farner, the lead singer of Grand Funk Railroad, coming to town, which is going to be an awesome show. Biggest band we ever brought here to town, and I know Trustee Scales is real excited about it. I'm excited about it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I will leave that on a positive note and ask our clerk, Simsky.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a note on village office closures. Village Hall and other village offices will be closed on June 19th and July 3rd, and that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Johanna Guzzo with a big week this week.
It was. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next Fire Public Safety Committee meeting is June 11th, 4:30 here at Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. And as probably everyone is aware or has seen something, we had the groundbreaking ceremony on Tuesday, May 26th, for the new fire facility that's going to be our headquarters station at 6015 South Cass Avenue. It was a wonderful ceremony. I want to thank everyone that was involved in it. For those that don't know, the fire station that is in the process of being torn down was dedicated to my father, Frank Johannick, who was our fire chief for 25 years. And I am very honored to say thank you that the new station going up is also going to be dedicated to him, and it was just a really emotional time for me, and I just want to thank everyone that came out, their support, our residents, the fire department, all of our village services, and we look forward to it building. I know that they're in the process of actually tearing the station down. I actually drove by last night. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. What an honor for my dad and the family, so thank you. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Matt Scales.
Thank you, Mayor. 2026 dates for the Community Development Committee meetings are July 9th and September 17th. We also have the downtown rezoning public hearing, which is scheduled for June 10th. And the entire community is invited to attend this meeting as they talk through the proposed rezoning of the downtown. Details are on the village website. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Gina Perilli.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works, the next Public Works meeting is August 20th in this location. I wrote down, and I tried to take a lot of notes. I was busy for a recap for our Public Works meeting, but each division came in and talked about projects going on in the village of Westmont. For some examples, with the forestry and grounds, well, one, we got 2 new team members on the team. They're in process of their spring tree planting, and their goal is 250 trees for our 250th year American anniversary. They gave away 253 tree seedlings. It's also Adopt a Planter season, and there's re-landscaping around Village Hall. Also, some other projects going on is updating some of this room, the bathrooms in Village Hall as well, and the front doors. There's Public Works projects going on. I'm trying to think. And then, yeah, every division had a lot of projects. So I could be here for a while if I listed them all, but a lot of good things going on in Westmont, Illinois. And then also just a reminder, for any construction updates for all the construction projects, we encourage residents to go to our village's website. And that's all I got.
Thank you. There are a lot of good things happening. I know Trustee Plowman's got some good things from his busy week he had.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Next Police Public Safety Committee meeting is August 6th, here right at City Hall at 4:30. Spring Fling. So being also the president of the Lions, I can't tell you how proud I am of the way the Spring Fling went off this past weekend. I know Mother Nature was on our side. It was a little cool on Thursday, but we came through with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with just beautiful, beautiful weather for this festival. I'd just like to take a minute, though, to thank Public Works, first responders, the business owners, the residents for, the inconvenience in the neighborhood of setting this up. But I also want to put that in perspective with, every beer drank, every ride ridden, every sandwich that people ate. That money goes back to our community directly. So it helps our food pantries. It helps put winter coats on children. It helps with natural disasters. The Lions used to be like the Knights of the Blind. That was what we were known for. Now there isn't a cause that we don't cover now. Mental health being the newest one. So it's just all that money goes back into the community. So if that can just let you know that the inconvenience that some people may have suffered, trust me, it all works out in the end. And I've heard also maybe some record-breaking numbers. I can't give it out to you because we don't really have all the invoices out yet. But I just want to thank the community. I'd like to thank the village board as well, who made it nice and easy for all of us to just take over the south side of Westmont. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Memorial Day Parade was another great day. I'd like to thank Trustee Little for giving me a ride in that nice convertible, so the trustees. So it was really nice, and it's always nice to see the community come out, and we witnessed a very emotional, it's always an emotional when you get to Veterans Park and you see all of our soldiers, our town soldiers there, or past military personnel in the speeches. Is his name Drabick? Is that his name?
Yep, Paul Drabick.
Paul Drabick?
Yeah.
A wonderful speaker, just very current, and yeah, he's a young guy, and it's just the speech was great. But wonderful day had by all. Pictures from the parade and the ceremony have been posted on the village photo gallery. Also, safer video program. Citizens are encouraged to let the police department know about their personal video cameras to help improve community safety. I believe it was the last board meeting that we had. Chief Gruen had shown clips of crimes in process and some emergency situation by neighborhood cameras. So what they're asking is that the residents register maybe their Ring cameras or business, their outdoor cameras, just so if there's a crime or something that happens within the town, that they know the address that they can go to if the Ring doorbell is listed, so that they can use that as evidence. And more info about that is on the village website. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Linda Little.
Thank you, Mayor. The next Administration Finance Committee meeting will be held June 25th, 4:30, right here in Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. Pet Palooza. The first ever Pet Palooza event was a very big success. Hundreds of guests and their pets came to the event to meet with vendors, hear educational presentations, and participate in the pet contests. First ever Westmont Special Events Pet Palooza mascot was chosen, and you'll be hearing from Sawyer the cat in the near future. That wasn't mine, thank you. Photos from the event have been posted on the Westmont Special Events Stanley Jamberger Facebook page. And if everyone isn't aware, I'm going to inform you, 1 week from tonight, cruise night starts. Downtown Cass Avenue from the railroad tracks up to Chicago. It's just a plethora of cars and everything that goes along with it. The first event will be held on June the 4th. There'll be 12 events this year. They go Thursday nights from 5 to 9. On Cass Avenue, Westmont Special Events has posted the new themes, including the very first big one, which is June the 18th, which will include the fire, the police, and public works. More information is on the WSEC website, westmontevents.com. And obviously, the Taste of Westmont's coming up after the 4th of July. For the scheduled July 9th through the 12th, there are many volunteer opportunities still available. Details can be found on westmontevents.com. Mark Farner, the original lead singer for the Grand Funk Railroad, will be performing on Saturday night. Chicago's best tribute band, Dancing Queen, performing the music of ABBA, will be on Friday night. Country's best Chris Stapleton tribute band, Tennessee Whiskey, will be performing on Saturday night. And the country music artist, Allie Walker, is performing Sunday night. There will also be over 100 musicians performing over the weekend, and the new South Stage will be located on Cass north of Burlington, so check that one out. Great food, great vendors, all ages, carnival, and more. So go to westmontevents.com for more information. And then the last item that I have is summer window murals. Businesses can now sign up for summer-themed windows through westmontevents.com. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Lots of action, too. Holy cow. Trustee Bruce Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee will meet again on June 8th. And that is at the Westmont Library for anybody that wants to attend. We always have a very good guest speaker. This month's speaker is, June's speaker is John Yater, who leads our forestry department here in the village, but always gives a wonderful presentation. And we also have another call for artists and performing artists for dance, theater, music, and art for the Vision and Vibe Fest has been published. You can find that information on the website, and again, those dates are September 12th and 13th. So we're looking forward to that event. And then I did also want to say that the Memorial Day service was wonderful. I wish the attendance was better, and I just want to say, I walk in that parade, I bring my grandchildren to walk with me, and, you know, this is 250 years as a nation, right? And I looked this up the other day because why are we doing this, right? 1,300,000 soldiers have given their lives in 250 years. So that's why we do it. Public Works Committee, there were two things that I just wanted to add that Gina didn't mention. One was employee Jesse Rapp was Public Works Department Employee of the Year.
Nice.
He's been with us 3 years, and the testimony that was given at the committee meeting is he works at Westmont. He's been here 3 years. He comes to work with enthusiasm, and he's excelling at what he does. And you know, as a village board, we look for staff that wants to work in Westmont and wants to be here and likes their job. And it's great to see a young man like that excel here in Westmont. We're lucky to have him. That was the testimony today. And the other one is, you know, one of the number one topics in Westmont, right, is my sidewalk in front of my house has a raised or crack or something like that. So we spend a lot of time as a board talking about sidewalks. And we're looking at ways to do more sidewalks, where do you put sidewalks and all that. So that was under review at the Public Works Committee meeting this evening. We spent a lot of time on it, and we know that there's miles and miles of sidewalks that we still have to do. I think we are at over 50% sidewalks where we want them, but we have another large portion of the community that need sidewalks, and we want to put them there, but it's all about, you can't spend all your money on sidewalks, right? Some people don't want sidewalks, some people do want sidewalks, but the important thing is, as a village, our policy, at least as long as I've been involved here for 13 years, has been, we'd love to have a sidewalk on one side of every street, so that people don't have to walk in the street, and it's about safe routes to schools. It's about safe places for people in wheelchairs or old people that can't pick their feet up so high. We don't want the tripping hazards, and again, want to compliment Director Reese and staff. They spend a lot of time responding to it. That program has never been better. We get better every year at it, and it's important to me to point that out. So thank you. That is all, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving right on to our consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed? Hearing none, Manager Gunther, please proceed.
Thank you, Mayor. On tonight's consent agenda, we have the village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held on May 14th, 2026. Item B, finance ordinance number 11 in the amount of $1,830,150.32. Amazingly, we have no purchase orders to approve. So the total purchase orders in the finance ordinance number 11 is the aforementioned amount of $1,830,150.32. We have two proclamations. First proclamation is the People Resource Center. Board to consider approving a proclamation honoring People's Resource Center for 50 years of service to DuPage County. Looking at the audience, raise your hand if you're here representing the PRC.
Big crew.
Big crew. All right. We will read that in a minute. Item F, proclamation, gun violence awareness. Board to consider approving a proclamation declaring June 5th through the 7th, 2026 to be National Gun Violence Awareness Weekend in the Village of Westmont. Item G, reduce the number of available Class II liquor licenses. Board to consider an ordinance reducing the number of available Class II liquor licenses by one due to the sale of 15 West Cafe, doing business as Dolce's, 13 North Cass Avenue, Westmont, Illinois. And with that, I will read the proclamation for the People's Resource Center. Celebrating over 50 years of neighbor helping neighbor. Whereas, in 1975, from a small house in Wheaton, a food pantry began. And whereas, the goal was to create social justice for poverty-stricken residents in DuPage County. And whereas, that first year, 125 families were given assistance, while in 2025, over 22,500 were served. And whereas DuPage PADS began as an outgrowth of this program, 10 years later is now a separate nonprofit organization. And whereas in 2008, a location in Westmont was created to successfully service the southern section of DuPage County to address vital needs and create a compassionate community. And whereas in 2015, the Westmont location had grown and a new location in Westmont was found and since serviced over 162,000 pantry visits, 18,000 clothes closet visits, and clocked over 287,000 volunteer hours. And whereas poverty has doubled in DuPage County in the past decade, the PRC has a legacy to ease the struggles of families in need. And now, therefore, I, Steve T. Nero, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the Village of Westmont, do hereby announce and proclaim to all citizens and set seal hereto, honor the work of the People's Resource Center of Westmont on this World Hunger Day as PRC celebrates 50 years of service in DuPage County. That is a proclamation. And with that concludes the consent agenda.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Plowman. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Before we move on to new business, since we got such a big crowd, should we do a proclamation photo with the board and everybody? I got a nice
Do you have any remarks? And then we'll do the...
Oh, and then maybe, I'm sure Hank or some of the team want to say some things. Yeah, come on up.
Hank's never shy about it.
He's already at the podium. Forget the picture, he says.
You want to go picture first and then do it that way?
Hi, Jenny, yeah, picture first. All right, come on, team.
Picture first. Halfway up.
Come on, Amanda, let's go.
Got this, John. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That was a hold down before.
Charge us extra for photos.
For photo bombing.
Oops, sorry.
Gina, make sure we can see you.
I think since Larry's here, we all need to do a thumbs up for this photo.
Let her take a picture first.
All right, we'll do formal first.
And one more, please. Thank you. Lovely.
All right, come on, one thumbs up for Boardsburg. Let's go. Let's get a picture.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, please. It's all yours.
2002, not 2008.
Oh, get him, Hank. Get him, Hank.
Change that?
You know,
Your first out.
he keeps you on your toes, doesn't he? Yes, Jenny, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor Nero and Village Council. I'll speak for less than 1 minute. Jenny Fabian, I have the privilege to be the CEO at People's Resource Center, which means I get to celebrate not only this crew of folks who's with us, we have board members here, we have volunteers here, including Larry, who I know you all know. So everybody who's here has either been an Outstanding Neighbor awardee in Westmont from PRC, board member, or heavy involvement with us. So we're so grateful for this community. As you mentioned, today is World Hunger Day, so it means even more to receive this from you today. Right here in DuPage County today, about 94,000 neighbors are dealing with food insecurity. It is harder to make ends meet with stretching incomes for families with young kids, for seniors, and for parents, and we serve all of those folks. We continue to see more folks as costs go up, as benefit struggles are happening for folks. when we established our second home, bricks and mortar here in Westmont 11 years ago, I know we were here previously, but our official home, we could not have chosen a better community in DePage. We work with all kinds of communities in the county, and the volunteers here and the civic spirit is second to none. So I'm so grateful to be in partnership with all of you. We look forward to building on that, on the optimism, on the can-do spirit, and the partnership with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you again for coming, we appreciate that. Let's move right into new business. A, increase in Class 2 liquor licenses by one. Board to consider an ordinance increasing the number of available Class 2 liquor licenses by one for 15 West Cafe DBA Dulce's, 13 North Cass Avenue in Westmont. Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Evening, Mayor Nero and Village Board. Back again. A couple weeks ago, I was here with Sophia and her husband Nanda seeking a temporary liquor license. Well, since that time, I've conducted a background review on Sophia, and as expected, everything went well. So there's no reason that would prevent the board from issuing a permanent license. The board granted a temporary license. Now we're at this point here today, we're now asking the board to convert that over to a permanent license. I can't say, and I'll let Sophia speak for herself. They own Dulce's, which is, the official name is 15 West Cafe LLC on North Cass Avenue. They do plan on making some changes, and I'll let her explain that. But it's been a welcome addition or a welcome part to our community, and to see that business is going to stay there and that corner stays active. So again, nothing that I could find that would prevent the board from issuing the permanent license, which they will do with the state tomorrow, and then they'll move forward with all their other ownership changes and everything like that. So with that, again, as I said last time, you're tired of hearing me speak, I'll turn it over to Sophia. So I don't mean to scare you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate your presentation of Dolce and your support. If I can take a few seconds to say a few things about the lady, I forgot your name. Susan. I wanted to commend you for putting together a proposal on mental health, bringing a mental health board to the village of Westmont. As a therapist, a licensed mental health counselor myself, I can attest to the mental health crisis that we live in today and how crucial it is to have a community mental health board. So hopefully that's something that, yes, that we can all take in consideration for the future. And if you need my assistance or resources, I'm more than willing to assist. Now, regards to Dolce, why we're here. Dolce Restaurant and Wine Bar in downtown Westmont. We have a temporary license. We would like to get a permanent license so we can continue wining and dining our customers for the next few months before it turns Greek. That is our goal, to turn it Greek, and little more than a few months. So if you would like to approve us, that would be a pleasure.
And if I'm not, you're open on the afternoons now, or before?
Lunch, yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you for the reminder.
Okay.
We are now open for lunch, and we are also open 7 days a week, not 5. So from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., you can come in and order what you want. Come.
Well, thank you very much for coming. You
Yes.
definitely are fitting right in.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
Trustee
you.
Palmer.
Has the menu, are you transitioning the menu, or is it still the same until that transition happens?
That's a good question.
Better.
So the lunch menu is completely new. It's definitely Italian inspired, and the prices are, I would say, about less than half from what they are for dinner menu, for the dinner menu. During our transition, we will add some Greek menu items to the Dolce dinner menu to see how the customers feel about the food and if they like it or not, which I'm pretty sure they will. Who doesn't like Greek food, right? But when we make our full transition, I'm thinking that we may possibly
keep a section as a homage to the Dolce family and have a little, maybe the favorites of the Dolce menu for the last 10 years, but the rest will definitely be, it's Greek to me.
Now,
And we will have saranaki.
there you go. Is the chef involved, the Gordon Ramsay champion, or what happened?
He is a friend. He is a friend, and he's wonderful, and we're honored to have him at Dolce, and hopefully he will possibly be involved in a future creation in our third business establishment in downtown Westmont that will hopefully will be opening in June. July. It's right next to Whiskey Hill, and it's called Rail and Rye. It's a modern tavern with comfort food and upscale comfort food. And he may have a signature dish. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
So fun.
For those who know, that's the, where the fried chicken location
Okay.
was, right next to Whiskey.
Sharks, Fish, and Chicken
Yeah.
was there.
That's where they're gonna be, and I'm working on their liquor license for that. This was, I didn't have enough to do, I'm working on that too.
Excellent.
And I also made one other thing for the taste next week. Dulce's is one of the several restaurants that will be where you could go and purchase alcohol inside the building, but then you could take your drink and walk the event. So, like everyone, if you get a chance to stop and see them, and maybe take a look on the inside, and
Yes.
I said have a drink or two.
We're gonna have a tent on the outside and
Cool cars of our own in front.
cool cars and tastings of Italian-inspired cuisine. It'll be nice. You have to stop by.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any
Fantastic.
questions?
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, thank you very much for coming, both of you. I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve Plowman?
Second, Scales.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Crowley?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you for your continued investment in
you.
Westmont. What's next? All right. Moving right on, subdivision and waiver 1351 South Ridge Road. Board to consider ordinances approving requests from Sonja Smilga for the property at 1351 South Ridge Road in Willowbrook, Illinois 60527 for the following, and that's just the mailing address for the record. 1, preliminary plan and final plat of subdivision to create one lot in the R1A single unit residential district. 2, waiver of fee in lieu contribution for right-of-way improvements that are required by Section 5.05D of the Land Development Code. And we have our head planner, Scott, here to walk us through it. Nice white shirt, look at that. All right.
Thank you. So this particular address, 1351 South Ridge Road, I just want to make sure there are currently 2 addresses for the same property. There's a single address for 2 different parcels. This is the parcel that's vacant that we're talking about tonight, not the one that has the house on it. First off, in 2006, the petitioner behind me, her parents, requested a preliminary plan approval and received approval of that preliminary plan and never went through the final plat approval. Unfortunately, the preliminary plan was recorded at the county level, which created a parcelized property. It's very unique. We haven't had to deal with this to this level before in the village. So the southern half of that property was sold off. There's a single-family home on it right now, but it left a parcel that was not formally a lot created to the north. And for the petitioner to sell the property and then ultimately build a home on it, they had to go and finish our process out with a preliminary plan and final plat. That's why it says it's for a 1-lot subdivision instead of a 2-lot subdivision on the request. The first item, that preliminary plan request, received a positive recommendation at Planning and Zoning at the last meeting in May. 7-0 is unanimous. Additionally, the second request the petitioner is requesting is a waiver of the fee in lieu contribution for right-of-way improvements that are required per Section 5.05D. That is a separate section of code from what was discussed at committee regarding sidewalks. This is in the subdivision code, so it's separate. The total amount that would normally have to be paid for that fee is $7,500. It's $100 per lineal foot of the width of the property. Happy to answer any questions regarding it, as well as the petitioners here and her attorney if you have any questions.
Great, thank you. Well, and just for the board's record, we do need two separate motions, two separate items, 1 and 2. But since we have the petitioner here, is there any questions from the board?
I would just, as to the waiver request, I sent 2 versions of the ordinance for the waiver. Just wanted to remind everyone of that. The first item not only waives the fee in lieu of contribution for the required public improvements as a result of this subdivision, but also because Chapter 70 requires sidewalk installation for any developer of the property, who will be separate from the current owner who's looking to subdivide and sell the property, presumably to a developer. The waiver also includes a waiver of the sidewalk installation or payment of the fee in lieu by any ultimate developer of that property. The second version of the ordinance that I sent to you grants the waiver for this applicant, but does not waive the requirement for any subsequent developer. That developer would have to install the sidewalk or would have to petition the board for permission to pay a fee in lieu of installing the sidewalk. So whoever makes the motion on that, if you're inclined to approve the waiver at all, should specify which version of the waiver they're recommending approval for, and we'll see what happens. If that fails, someone is free to make a motion to approve version 2 if they're so inclined.
Thank you, sir.
Can I ask the mayor?
Yes, please.
The paperwork in front of me, is this current or is this after your modification?
The agenda was prepared with this language, if that's what you're asking about, before I drafted the ordinances. So their request did not include any requests to waive developer fees, but in talking about it at a staff level, we felt like there might be some confusion if the subdivider says to a potential purchaser of the lot, there's nothing owed for public improvements related to this lot to the village, when in fact under Chapter 70 there are. So you have the option to either extend this waiver to the developer or not extend it to the developer.
Got it, thank you.
And it might be helpful to have Public Works talk through the second item as well, because I know Scott kind of gave the info on the first one, but it might be good to hear the second one since that's not dealing with the zoning part.
Sure. Director Reese, you want to come on up? Thank you.
So the Chapter 70, which we went through before, specified either a fee in lieu or constructing the sidewalk. There was no alternative path. So this would be setting a problematic precedent that would make it difficult for us to complete our sidewalk network. So that's our position on it, that either the applicant or the subsequent developer of the lot should be required to put in the sidewalk. Now, there is a house there that does not have any sidewalk. It's presumed that that house would remain there. That house would still be a gap in the network if they are not required to put it in.
Thank you. Anything else?
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
There's not a house on the subject parcel that's being subdivided. I mean, there's a house on the southern portion of that, but not the northern portion, correct? That's a vacant lot.
Correct. So the southern parcel is the one that has a single-family home on it,
Yeah.
and the one to the north is the one we're discussing now that's vacant.
Got it. And so the second draft ordinance, or what you sent out second, the second draft would allow us to pass it on to the developer.
For the vacant lot.
Correct.
You can't do anything about the lot with the
Existing
house
lot.
on it.
Right.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hearing other questions, you want to give the property owner or your representative, to say anything?
My parents and we owned all of that
corner lot, you might say, with all three, now that has a new building on it, and that house that you had referred to, that was my father's house and such. So we thought we were doing the correct thing by subdividing it, but that neighborhood was it was in DuPage County, but then it went to Darien, and then it went to Westmont, so it was kind of like a miscommunication. We were not notified for some of the items that were being discussed in Westmont that included our area, because we thought we were part of Darien, and then we were told we were not part of Darien. So we were following DuPage County rules as far as building was concerned, and worked with Westmont to obtain the water by signing the annexation agreement for contiguous something.
Yep.
You got it.
So all this time, I've been paying the taxes and such. And then when my parents died, my sister had lived in the house for a while, and then we sold that property. So I went to sell the empty parcel to offset some bills and such, and that's when the contractor had signed to build the house on it. That's when we found out that it didn't comply completely to Westmont rules. So that's why we're asking for that.
Yeah, no, and I remember you were here, and we mentioned our stormwater project we were working on, and
Right.
so it's good to see you back, because that went in your direction, so it's good news.
Yes, we
but-
couldn't afford the stormwater at that time, so that takes care of that. But I'm not a builder, I'm not a developer. We already
Sure.
have a bunch of people that are already interested in purchasing it, so if the builder and the developer pays for the sidewalk, that's fine with me.
Fair
Can
enough.
I ask?
Yes, please.
And say something. I have a question, and then I want to say something. So the Chapter 70 developer sidewalk.
Can you please just state your name for the
Oh,
record?
sorry. Yes, I have a better introduction. Good evening, Mayor, trustees, and Attorney Zemanek. I'm Ellen K. Raymond. You've all met me. And I represent Sonia and her request for the 1351 South Ridge Road subdivision and the waiver. So my question that I jumped to, this developer sidewalk in Chapter 70, I just want to clarify, would we still get the final subdivision approval? Because we can't sell without that.
Yes, you would. You'd be able to record the subdivision. There'd be no, if the waiver is granted, just as to your client, there would be no fee in lieu contribution payment required. And if you sell it to a developer, anytime the developer comes in for permits to build, that would trigger their obligation to show the public sidewalk on their plans or to come back to the board to request a fee in lieu of.
Rightfully so.
All right, so that option is fine with us,
fine
right?
with me.
We have no objection to that, and I understand what Director Reese was saying about that not being a unique situation. As far as the other waiver, we do believe, and even Scott said it was unique tonight, I believe this lot is unique. We asked staff through a FOIA for a report of other vacant lots in the same circumstance in Highview Estates, and they couldn't give us anything. I think there's no such record. So Sonia drove through Highview Estates, and you would not, this report said you'd be setting a precedent. You wouldn't be, because she is a unique lot. Now, I may be wrong, but from her observation, she's unique, and from what Scott said tonight. So all we're asking you to do really is honor what the earlier board promised the Highview Estates people when they annexed that area. And I realize from what Sonia's saying, it went very convoluted from one village to another. And they, luckily, my client has a photographic memory, and I think Attorney Zemanek remembers these hearings, but when we FOIA'd minutes, they didn't exist. But they promised this area that it would keep the rural feel, and they even set that forth in ordinance number 00148 that amended the 98 comprehensive plan and said they would not have to pay for or apply for these right-of-way and curbs and this and that because they'll stay looking the way they are. Then we were told by Scott, and we didn't know, and by the attorney, that I think was the 2013 comprehensive plan supposedly overturned that ordinance, even though it did not reference the ordinance, and nowhere did it name Highview Estates. So I questioned whether that even met the equal dignities requirement, but your attorney says that it does. So assuming it does, it was nobody in Highview Estates was given notice that they'd lose this right. My client certainly didn't know. And nowhere in 2013 comprehensive plan does it say we are overturning ordinance 00148. Highview Estates will no longer maintain the rural atmosphere that we annexed it. So I'm just asking you in good faith, to honor that annexing board. I kind of feel like it's a bait and switch, a lot of promises are made. We're going to take you from Darien, but you'll never pay a cent when you want to subdivide and blah, blah, blah. But here we are, and suddenly there's these costs that my client honestly can't afford. So I hope you will give us the consideration and maybe just push that sidewalk down the road to the contractor, who hopefully is well-funded.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments from the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve number 1.
Motion Scales.
Second, Little.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve number 2, whichever option the board would prefer, or if they have a third option.
Motion Scales with the second option.
And to be clear, the second option
Yeah.
requires any developer to install sidewalks.
Correct. Do you have a second?
Second, Guzzo.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, moving right on. Big night for Scott. Good thing he's got that new shirt on. All right. C, lot coverage variance, 326 South Washington Street. Board to consider an ordinance approving a request from Richard and Carol Barclay for the property at 326 South Washington Street in Westmont for a zoning ordinance variance to the maximum lot coverage in the R3 single unit district for a deck and a pool. Senior Planner Scott.
Thank you.
Right, senior planner.
This particular property, 326 South Washington, it's down towards 55th Street on South Washington. The proposal has a 226 square foot expansion of their deck and a new 253 square foot pool. This construction would raise the property's lot coverage from 47% to approximately 52.75%. which exceeds the 35% maximum in that district. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval 4-2 vote with 1 abstaining from voting. We do have the petitioners here to answer questions on it, and we also have the village engineer behind me to answer questions regarding the lot coverage or impacts for stormwater.
Great. Thank you. Should we call the petitioners up since they're here?
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Board, any questions regarding what Scott has covered? I mean, we did go through an extensive process since February to come to today, so all of you should have received a full package that we submitted and all of the stuff that goes with that. Any questions about the submission package?
So if it's appropriate, I have
Yes,
a couple.
please.
So, watching the planning and zoning meeting, right? To be fair, I was multitasking, so I didn't get it all, right? But there was a lot there. Are you the original owner of that house?
Yes, we've been there for 36 years now.
So you had a house, it burned down.
It did.
And you built a new one.
That's
And you
correct.
built it bigger that conformed with whatever zoning requirements at the time, right?
We were permitted based on what is there today. We have made no improvements in the 36 years.
Right,
Yeah.
were you, for the rebuild, were you granted a variance, is what I'm...
There was no variance. I don't recall that. I don't think it's on record. All I know is that the permits, as they were submitted, were approved, and that the property today is as it was when it was built.
Yeah, so I got that, right? So we don't know if there was a variance to it, but in my mind, I'm going to say the first house was smaller.
Scott, do you have something
I can
to add
speak to
there?
that.
Yeah.
The first house was smaller than the second house.
So the original permit, after the fire happened, our lot coverage regulations were a bit different.
I got that from P&Z.
Correct. So everything that was submitted at that time for permits was approved, and it's basically as it exists today. Where it's done with permits, no variances were granted at the time because there was none needed.
Okay.
So this is basically their existing lot coverage was grandfathered in, that 47%.
Right. Okay, so that was that. I think I had one more for you, but if I don't, it's really, I've got a couple for staff, right? And when we get to that, I'm happy to ask that. Thank you.
Any other questions for the residents?
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming. Okay, do we want to get maybe Public Works at the questions? More
Please.
stormwater?
Yeah, that gentleman right there is good. He knows.
Ah, Greg's ready. All right.
Both of them, right? They're both good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I read, right, in the packet, and what I learned from P&Z, we definitely have a situation over there where the neighborhood is behind the home. This added lot, or added improvement, which is a great improvement to them, right, makes that area worse off than it was prior to doing it, right? Afterward, we're going to contribute more to stormwater. Our wonderful staff, and you guys are rock stars, with the help of the village manager, responded to some questions I had earlier. And it was outstanding. I think it's probably one of the best letters I have ever gotten from the village, thanks to this gentleman and our hardworking staff.
More on the staff than on
Yeah.
this staff. Let's give credit where credit's due.
Well, anyway, so we handled that, right? And I know that there's improvements coming in the future. And what I want to talk about, because we have an opportunity, is there's a need for it. The solution that we had in 2011, the cost was astronomical, right? And it was hinted at that, yeah, we're going to make some improvements there sometime in the future. And what I don't want to do is set a precedent and say, hey, everybody's cool with this large coverage, because we are adding to the problem, be it small, negligible in the area, or whatever, right? The alley improvements that we're making, right, with the gravel under the blacktop, do we have an understanding, as an engineer, do we have an understanding, is that valuable? What does that do? Is that negligible also? I'm assuming it costs more to do it the way we've been doing it, to, try to grab some stormwater in these alleys and use it as some detention. That's our only known improvement to the area.
Yeah, the particular alley improvement is asphalt, it's not permeable. So it's basically replacing the gravel with asphalt, and the stormwater impacts are...
It's a base different?
No.
Okay.
It's basically putting asphalt on top of what was there.
So it's not a stormwater improvement at all?
It is not except for adding storm sewer that wasn't there. So that storm sewer will now capture, in this particular case, it goes to a low spot, and that low spot didn't have storm sewer. It will now drain into the 55th Street storm sewer system.
Which can't, in 2013 couldn't handle it, right?
Could not handle it, correct.
Right.
So in the smaller, more nuisance storms, it's going to be well drained. In those larger events, there won't be a change between gravel and what we're doing now.
Yeah, so.
Not worse, not better.
So, and I don't know, back when it happened, it was devastating to the community. I don't want to say I'm all in favor of making it worse for people. They're my friends and neighbors. Back then, we said, love to be able to buy those two properties, but we had a seller that wasn't willing to sell them at a reasonable price. And they really should be, a couple of those spots should be grass, and they're not. And then we went through this for years now. You know, if you build a home in a low area, low is still low, right? We modified our construction documents a while back. Foundations now are 2 feet higher. That's correct, right? 2 feet higher than previous. We just changed that.
It's going to be, in this particular case, it would be 1. The 2 feet applies when it's on a riverine and a mapped floodplain.
Okay.
This one is just our low depressional area, so it's only a 1 foot.
1 foot, okay. So what I want to do is take this opportunity. I'd love to see them get a pool. I think we have to admit that we're making it worse to the smallest degree, whatever it is, right? But I'm happy to have you on staff to try to find better solutions for that area. And I know it's not the project that was brought forward to us in 2011. And then as, you know, Director Reese and Public Works have all done these things, right? I think we're still obligated, and all the other stuff that we do is to find solutions for the low areas in town that we haven't addressed yet. So I'm just using this to highlight that. Because we know we haven't done some because there's no money to do it, right? And it's big money, Mayor. I'm just bringing that forward. All right, thank you.
Very good.
Could I ask a question?
Thank you, sir. Sure, come on up.
Thank you. During the PZC meeting, the village engineer stood up and said straight out that what we were requesting to do would have no adverse effect to the low-lying area or contribute further to any of the flooding in that area, just so you know. And I'm a little confused about what you saw in the letter that we haven't seen in the letter.
It's, okay. So I guess a clarification could come from the engineer.
Well, the planning and zoning, that was Jamie Patterson, who is our consulting engineer, that was representing the village on that behalf. And so the language that I used in the letter to Manager Gunther was that it's just it's an impact that is so small it's negligible, as opposed to no impact.
Right.
You know, which was kind of,
okay,
in my mind, from a engineering standpoint, living in the gray, basically the same.
Well, but there's also a line in here that says, if we allowed everybody to do this, we'd be creating a problem.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you look at it as an isolated incident, it really has no impact.
Right.
If you look at it as setting a precedent and doing this everywhere, obviously,
yeah,
an area that's flooding is going to flood worse.
Right, and it's for, you know, it's for staff and future boards. That's all. We still have to focus on that. And sir, I'm supporting this. You know, I'm supporting this. I'm not against it. I just don't want to lose sight of, we have stormwater issues that we have to continue to try to resolve.
I just add, we're very acutely aware of that. Our property is the lowest lying property on that. We do, in the heaviest storm, we do get water in the street, but it does drain quickly. And from a maintenance standpoint, anytime that there are leaves, or I'm cleaning those storm drains off to make sure that that drains as quickly as possible. But yeah, we would love to see something. We know, I've talked about it before, that we'd have to get a referendum. The county sewer would have to be, the county would have to be on board, we'd have to be on board to fix that problem. Either way, we're acutely aware of it and are doing our best as homeowners to help alleviate that problem.
Well, you were here in 2013, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from the board for staff? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Little.
Any last minute comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Motion passes. Good luck. Let us know when the pool party is.
I want to take a moment. I want to give kudos to Scott here. Scott, this is a very difficult code to.
Did he pay you for this?
No, he didn't. What my code book is. large.
It is.
And he has done yeoman's work to make sure that we understood what happened step by step to get us to this point. So I want to give him kudos, because there's a lot of people in the village that probably don't even read the code, or they're elderly and they don't even know anything, right?
That's right.
So having someone like this on the staff is really fantastic.
Thank you for sharing that. He's a big asset. We're lucky to have him. All right, Scott. Thanks for coming. All right, we're moving right on to D. Special use permit, 10 West Burlington Avenue, Mahong Studio, maybe not right, but close enough. Board to consider an ordinance approving a request from Hinsdale. Was it close? Yeah? Hinsdale Mahong? Mahjong, way off. All right, Society LLC, doing business as HMS Mahjong Society. The petitioner and Westmont Downtown LLC, the owner for the property at 10 West Burlington Avenue in Westmont, for a special use permit to operate an indoor other participant entertainment business in the B1 Downtown Edge District. And I'm excited to hear about this. So, Senior Planner Scott Williams, have at it, sir.
Thank you. So this property is just right behind you, 10 West Burlington. The request is for a Mahjong studio, which we classify as a special use as an indoor other participant entertainment business. It's kind of a broad category. It fits a lot of different uses. It requires a special use to be looking at things like parking, safety and welfare of the area. We want to make sure that everything will be fine if they move in. This was heard at the Planning and Zoning Commission in May as well. That was a unanimous decision of approval, a recommendation for approval. And the petitioner's here. I'm sure she would like to speak.
Yeah, please, welcome. Tell us about the business.
Yeah. Hi, it's nice to meet all of you. Thank you for having me. Yes, so I intend or hope to open a Mahjong studio at 10 West Burlington. If you don't know what Mahjong is a game played in four. It's a strategy-based game similar to chess, if anybody has played chess. It involves no gambling, at least American Mahjong involves no gambling. It's played for fun, and my studio is instructional, so it ranges from beginners to people who are a bit more advanced, and all of it is supported play, which means I typically float the room and help moderate tables if people have disagreements or answer questions for people. So.
Very cool. All right. Any questions from the board since petitioner's here? Yes. Yes, sir.
Is this like one of the first in the area? Because I haven't heard.
Yeah.
That's a great question. It actually is. There's this will be the first in the Chicago western suburbs. There is one Mahjong parlor in Chicago proper, but it's right around the corner from Wrigley, and it is very busy and hard to get to. So I'm hoping that this one, with the ample parking and the opportunities to take the metro as well, will be pretty well attended.
Is it is it more of a club, or will there be any food and drink needed, or?
That's a great question. So the space doesn't have any kitchen or anything like that. Obviously, I won't be selling or giving any alcohol. This will be strictly come to play, definitely a social-based activity. I think you could call it a club, but I would say that most people who are coming aren't associating themselves necessarily with a club per se. They are associating themselves with the club right now of Mahjong in general.
Cool.
What's the demographic? Who do you usually draw?
One of the things I love about Mahjong is it spans all generations. It truly does. I've had someone as young as 20 in some of my instructions, and most recently 79. So I think that Mahjong is a game that gets us away from our screens and forces us to be present, and I really love that it really spans so many generations, and it's so fun to play with all different types of people.
Can you teach us?
Yes.
That's a big ask.
You know, I will say, so I've been operating out of Park Place at the Park District, and every session that I have sells out, and it sells out well in advance.
Fantastic.
So if you do want a lesson, I'm happy to teach you. Just make sure you mark it on your calendar at least a few weeks in advance.
Very cool. Any other questions?
I know you're in a good location because we have so many wonderful restaurants.
Yes, and that's something I'm so excited about is, you know, participants obviously can come and play Mahjong with me, but afterwards or before,
eat, yeah.
they can go to Dolce, they can go to any other of the establishments nearby.
Great.
Anything to get people away from a screen.
Yeah.
Yep, and to get more people to come to the downtown. Sounds
Yeah.
like a nice thing that people are going to like and want to see.
I'd just like to point out, she did use the statement there was ample parking down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, wow. Can you say that again, Trustee Scales?
Any idea on when you're planning to open?
Hopefully as soon as possible. I would love to get people in the space immediately, like, as soon as obviously I get all of my boxes checked. But I think I'm doing minimal work to the space, just cosmetic updates. So, yeah, I hope to have people in soon.
Well, you'll have to connect with our Chamber of Commerce so we can get a ribbon cutting on the calendar, and
I
a
would
lot of
love
us will
that.
come and play. It'll be fun.
really
I would love that.
One quick question. How many people at a time will you have space for to play?
That's a great question. So in my drawing that I submitted to PZC, we have 5 tables, so 20 people.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice size group.
Yeah, a great size group. And I find that's a great number too for Mahjong because, again, it's a strategy-based game, so you don't want it too loud. You also don't want it silent. That's a little awkward. So that's like a great number.
Great. Thank you.
Just because I'm curious, how'd you get into this? Is it a family thing? Like, what's the history here?
Well, the history, I guess, for me personally, is that I run a social collective out of Hinsdale. I'm a Hinsdale resident, and a lot of this social collective members really wanted to learn Mahjong. So I also learned Mahjong along with them. A few of us really fell in love with it almost immediately and tried recruiting other people to do it, which was quite easy to do given the boom in Mahjong right now.
Yeah,
Mahjong is very hot.
Oh, yeah. All the influences.
Yes, it's a very, very popular game right now in a very popular space. I think because we are all craving not only community but time away from screens and the news and everything else happening in our lives.
I love it. Well, that's great. And thanks for not choosing Hinsdale and coming next door. And you can tell your mayor that, okay?
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see the A-frame.
That's
Yeah.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion, Scales.
Second Little?
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Congratulations. Motion passes. Can't wait for the ribbon cutting.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'm going to practice up until then. Jim, we ready? We got to get a little board game.
Figure it out.
Forget the stretch, right?
All right, moving right on. Here we go. E, Special Use Permit Amendment, 50 West Ogden Avenue, Tesla. Board to consider request from Tesla Incorporated and Ogden Avenue LLC for the property at 50 West Ogden Avenue in Westmont for a special use permit amendment to allow modified operations and conditions for an existing vehicle sales or rentals business engaged in vehicle sales and minor vehicle repair and maintenance in the B2 General District. Senior Planner Scott Williams, again.
Thank you. So this particular property, 50 West Ogden, as you probably know, already has a Tesla dealership on the site. They're coming in for a special use permit amendment to their existing special use permit. This is in response to a notice of violation to the property regarding the principal use, deviating from the dealership of new car sales on the property, as they now operate, they have a repair facility that takes up a larger portion of their property that they utilize it for. They've come in and worked with us to accommodate the changes that we need to categorize them as still a dealership and still allow them to do some of their garage activities in fixing cars. You'll see that in the ordinance, or the prepared ordinance, and in your staff report or board memo, there's a list of special conditions attached that are laid out to make sure that they're within the standards, so they're still selling the new cars. The Planning and Zoning Commission also heard this item on May 13th, and they voted unanimously 7-0 to recommend approval of the problem with the listed conditions that were provided to you. Happy to answer questions. We also have, I believe, the general manager of the facility here that can respond to anything.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming. While you're here, say a few words. We love Tesla in town, so it's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I mean, I would just say that our Westmont location was one of our first locations we opened up in the state of Illinois. And years later, we've grown quite a bit, and this is our longest standing location in the state of Illinois. So, I'm really excited to continue the relationship with the Village of Westmont and continue supporting our community within the village. So, thank you.
Thank you. And you had one of your hardest customers this past week. My mother purchased a Tesla in town, and she loves it. Your sales rep was phenomenal, Mara. She did a wonderful job. Anybody that could please her, and she can hear me say this, and teach her how to drive the vehicle as good as she's driving in a matter of a half a day. It was pretty cool.
You know what? I did meet her. I did not know until after the fact that that's who it was, but she was fantastic. She was so nice and a really fun customer. So, yeah.
Very cool. All right. Any questions from the board since the gentleman's here?
I just have a quick question for staff maybe. How do you monitor and enforce some of these conditions? For example, making sure that there's 10 cars that are always on site that are offered for sale. I think that's number one. And there's a couple other points that I thought might be kind of difficult.
And Scott, I can try to address that also. They submitted a parking plan that is going to be an exhibit to the ordinance and it's color coded, and it designates where new cars available for purchase or for demo driving are going to be located on the property. So code enforcement could drive by and observe whether those spaces are filled with new cars available for sale. Some other items are a little more difficult to track, such as do they have a sales personnel on site who's able to sell cars to make sure that they're operating as a new car dealership. That may require a phone call or a site visit by code enforcement, but we feel like there's a way to track all of these and enforce them if necessary, but we expect full compliance. I think these are relatively easy conditions for them to meet.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I can actually speak really quickly to
Sure.
the sales people and staff. So we operate very differently than a traditional dealership. And so really where things change is we stop delivering new vehicles. However, we've maintained a staff of salesmen and women through the entire time that we've been on site there. So that's really the operational change that we've made, is that the cars that we are selling to customers, they're taking ownership from our location again.
And so cars can be delivered to this location for pickup by a customer with the paperwork finalized in Westmont. And Westmont can track that somewhat through seeing, for example, sales tax revenue that reports that it gets from the state that break down revenue compared to sale of vehicle parts versus new car sales.
And just a quick question for you guys. You guys lease that property, correct?
Correct.
Can you share how much time you have left on your lease?
You know what? It's our property team that manages it. I believe it's 3 years.
Left? Okay. Thank you.
Fair enough. Any other comments, questions from the board? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Little. Second, Guzzo.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yep. Keep selling those cars in Westmont now. All right, moving right on, Scott. Here we go. F subdivision, 300 West 60th Street. Board to consider an ordinance approving a request from the Karen Bailey Meyer Trust and the David P. Meyer Trust for the property at 300 West 60th Street for a preliminary plan and final plat of subdivision to subdivide one lot into two lots in the R3 Single Unit Residential District. Senior Planner Williams.
Thank you. So this is 300 West 60th Street. I believe it has a Downers Grove address, technically, but is in the village of Westmont. The proposal from the petitioner is to subdivide the lot from one lot and two lots. The subdivision meets all of our regulations and minimum standards for zoning and within the Land Development Code and Appendix B of the Municipal Code. The petitioner is planning on constructing 2 new single-family homes on the property, and there are some minor issues with the provided final plat that can be rectified after approval. Just some language that needs to be rectified before it can get printed, and then, if approved, recorded at the county. The Planning Zoning Commission heard the case and requests also on May 13th and received a 7-0 recommended approval vote. Happy to answer questions. We also have the property owner here.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. If you want to say anything, have at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions about it, but hoping to build 2 new homes for Westmont, so.
Love to hear that. Okay. Any questions from the board since the petitioner's here for staff? Hearing none, we're going to get right to it then. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion, Scales.
Second, Plowman.
No comments. Roll call, please.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Motion passes. Let's get building. All right, thank you. Okay, moving right on. G, major site plan, 5628 South Cass Avenue Townhomes. Board to consider an ordinance approving a request from 5628 South Cass LLC for the property at 5628 South Cass Avenue in Westmont for a major site plan approval for a multi-unit building containing 4 dwellings in the R4 General Residential District. Senior Planner Williams.
Thank you. More construction. So 5628 South Cass is just north, or on South Cass, it's just south of 61st Place. The proposed building, multi-unit building with 4 dwelling units, is a permitted use in that district. The proposed site plan approval includes a site plan, a landscape plan, and building elevations that will be an exhibit on the ordinance if approved. The proposed building and site meet all minimum regulations for the zoning district. There is no subdivision attached to this because there's already a subdivided property. We do have the petitioner here if you have any questions or if they have any comments. The recommendation for planning and zoning also on the May 13th meeting, it was a busy meeting, was unanimous, recommended for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for coming. And again, the petitioners are here and staff. Any questions from the board? Comments? Here, from the audience, come on up. They don't have any, so we might as well get some questions.
I apologize, I could not have been at that meeting.
Please just state your name real quick, even though you already did,
Sorry.
but-
Bonnie Wayman Dodd, and I am in that subdivision,
Great.
the Newfield Manor subdivision. So, and I was around for Bob Barker's comments. Sorry, I always call you Bob Barker, but it's Bruce.
I've been called worse.
He's okay with that.
Bruce. I was around.
My father's name is Bob, so
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
Don't have a game show, though.
Kinda, that's pretty cool.
2013 flooding was awful, awful. We flooded, couldn't get out, and that is my biggest concern with this, is that is a very small house, and it's now going to be 4 homes, which I think is way too much for that plot of land. I'm not even sure how many people in my neighborhood could come out because that's a very busy school time during May 13th. So, but drainage is huge problem. Where's our water people? But it's a big problem. For one instance, I can say that when we're doing all these modifications to lands and things, we need to remember that, or when subdivisions like Newfield Manor were put in, they did not require the bigger sewers, they did not require ponds for drainage, which later came after because of subdivisions like ours that all flooded. And I spent oodles of money getting my house redone for water issues. So that's my biggest concern, is that 3-bedroom, 4 units is going to way overload the flooding in the area. The other concern is that we're competing with Hinsdale School District. We have the Downers North School District. On the other side of Cass, you have the Hinsdale School District. And I think that's going to hurt our property levels a bit, because this is just a massive amount of family on that one property. So that's another concern, that's going to lower the tax money that we are getting right now because our homes really sell quickly and well. They sell fast. They get in bidding wars in our neighborhood for housing. So that's going to cut down the value probably of our homes a little bit. That would be a concern. The biggest, again, I'm just going to say it, water, water, water. If anything, we need more affordable housing, not bigger ones. I know Manning School District is already being looked at for growing again. We in the Marker School District have done various things updating our schools over the year. Again, you're taking a little tiny house and putting 3 or 4 big families in there. It's just too much. So I have lots to say, but I will keep it mostly at that because I want you to think water, water, water. So that's my comment.
Thank you. Appreciate you saying that. And I can tell you that we do take stormwater very serious, so any new project would have to comply with our stormwater ordinance, which matches the county. But yes, come on up. Unless, Scott, do you have something while she's walking up?
I was just going to add,
Go ahead.
there is post-construction best management, post-construction best management practice being instituted on the property for stormwater.
Great.
It's on the Cass Avenue side. That is within our standards and the county regulations.
Perfect. That's what we got them for. And yes, come on up.
Hi. My name's Laurel Rugen. I live at 513 North Grant. I went to the P&Z meeting, the last one, about that piece of property. I've lived in Westmont for 41 years, and I've always loved that the quaintness. We used to have a lot more of a little cottagey and houses and property, and if I had had the funds, as I had said, I would have bought it myself. But it seems like more and more you're taking a small piece of land and want to cram it in, shoehorn these big living facilities. Even one of the gentlemen on the P&Z board, he questioned that, like, where's the yard? Where's the backyard? And I totally agree with that. And well, since she lives in Newfield Manor with the flooding and everything, it's just like everything's getting more and more cramped. It's like, this isn't Chicago. So why do we have to follow the trend and make it everything like shoehorned in like that? That's all. I'm just sad to see an older home like that, that was obviously kept up. Another one going away, so thank you.
Thank you for coming. No, we appreciate it. Any other comments from the public? Sure, come on.
I wasn't sure what you were
Please come to the podium, please.
Sorry. I wasn't sure what you were saying with water. I do know I spoke with the Public Works people on various times, and we are, when DuPage County did that whole water, what did they call it? I don't remember. But where they were marking out flood areas and things like that and talking about what areas needed. Our area is listed in that. Nothing's been done about it. And even the Public Works people kind of scratched their head when they were like, oh yeah, you're in there. But nothing's been done about it. So I just wanted to add that, because I wasn't quite following what you were saying about the water.
Yeah, so Scott or Amy, could one of you guys talk about what the PCBMPs mean? What does that look like compared to like a detention pond?
I can attempt to. I'm not an engineer though. So there's, when we have new development, if it reaches a certain standard of new impervious area, my understanding is that they have to install BMP, which is a best management practice, which basically, I believe, cleans the water before it gets sent into the storm sewer system. That helps with the flooding or stormwater disbursement. I can see Amy's coming up here, so I'm going to step aside.
It has to provide both a moderate amount of volume control for the first 1 inch of rainfall, and it also has to provide a water quality benefit. So it's usually like a dry well is typically what is installed to meet this requirement.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments from the board?
Can somebody just comment? I don't recall hearing it. What is the lot coverage then for the proposed project?
There is no lot coverage requirement for an R4 district.
Okay.
They're exempt.
Okay. Well, it's, along that street, right, it's not out of character for what's there.
Correct. There's a very similar project just south of this property, a 4-unit townhome project.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
That is a lot smaller, though. That's not as big. And the lot is very small.
Okay, thank you. We're on the board time right now. We want to wrap it up. Any other comments from the board?
It's huge.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Similar.
Motion, Scales.
Second, Plowman?
Any other comments from the board? Questions? Roll call, please.
Real quick, just
Yes,
a
sir.
quick question. Just to be clear, what they're proposing is allowed by right with the underlying zoning, correct?
Correct, it's a permitted use.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, trustee Scales. Okay, hearing no more, roll call, please.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Video gaming liquor license amendment. Board to consider an ordinance amending the Class 23 liquor license classification pertaining to video gaming contained in Chapter 10, Section 1036 of the Westmont Village Code of Ordinances. We're going to give Scott a break. Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Thank you, Mayor. Board, this is something that we've talked about at a few different committee meetings and in a few different ways. So what we're proposing right now is based on the latest discussions we've had at committees. And basically, we're trying to standardize the rules for video gaming that goes along with our restaurants or bars and make those apply the same way in the downtown as they do outside of the downtown. One of the big pieces that is shifting is just what happens if somebody is buying a business that already has video gaming. So right now, in the downtown, they're allowed to do that, but only if they don't change the motif and business practices, and it's kind of a subjective determination of where does a motif end and something else start. And outside of the downtown right now, the rule is they can't just buy a business. If they do buy a business that has video gaming, then they have to still wait a year before they can ask the board if they can do video gaming. So the downtown, they don't have to wait a year to ask the board as long as they don't change a motif, whatever that means. Outside of the downtown, they're not allowed to, they have to wait the year no matter what. What we're looking to standardize is putting in as an objective measure of saying it's not about the motif, instead it's about whether or not they purchased the business that used to be there. So if they're buying the business, then they don't have to wait a year to come to before the board to ask to have the video gaming. If they are not purchasing the business and the business just leaves and ends and they just want to go into the same location, but they didn't actually buy the business, then they do have to wait the year. So that's sort of the distinction that we're proposing right here. There's some differences and caveats in there. If the reason the business is sold is that it's sold as part of a foreclosure, that doesn't count, then they would still have to start over. Or if the business closes for over a month, which is, when the liquor license can be removed. If it closes for that period of time, again, they would then have to wait the year before they could ask the board. But in any case, even if they can come to the board in less than a year, they would still have to come to the board. As you just saw earlier, we had an example of somebody coming to get a liquor license. That's the same process that we would be doing, even under this new scenario. The board still has the ability to look at all the different reasons to decide if they think a video gaming license makes sense. So board members can be looking at whether or not they feel that this is just an amenity to help the business, or if they feel the business would only succeed with the video gaming. They can look at how the layout will be of the video gaming machines. They can look at whether or not individual board members feel like there's already too much gaming around that area or in town. They can still look at all those different issues, past history of the applicants, those kind of things. So none of those protections go away. In addition, we still have all the other protections in there, such as the requirement that 50% of their revenue come from the sale of food or drink, not from video gaming, so we don't end up with a cafe. For those that are restaurants, still have the requirement about having a certain percentage of your floor space devoted to serving food. So all the same protections that we have stay there. It's just an adjustment to make it standardized throughout the village for what happens when someone is buying a business that currently has video gaming. Trying to make it a little bit better for our businesses to be able to sell if they need to.
Thank you, sir. I know we discussed this at committee, but why don't we just get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Scales.
Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none. Anything from the public? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli.
Yes.
Trustee Plowman.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, Scott, we're back to you. Your break's over. I, zoning ordinance text amendments, accessory video gaming. Board to consider an ordinance approving requests from the Village of Westmont for the following. 1, zoning ordinance text amendments to Chapter 95, zoning of the Westmont Code of Ordinances, Section 6.01, regarding the addition of video gaming accessory as a permitted use in the B1A downtown core and B1 downtown edge zoning districts. 2, zoning ordinance text amendments to Chapter 95, zoning of the Westmont Code of Ordinances, Section 6.04, regarding the deletion of certain supplemental use regulations for video gaming accessory. Senior Planner Williams.
Thank you. So these text amendments were derived at the April 2nd Administration and Finance Committee. We were directed to make changes to video gaming as an accessory use to allow for changes through liquor licensing. The change is from the B1A, which is the downtown core, and B1. Those would go from prohibited to permitted, and with that, we would remove the supplemental regulations that were for some grandfathering in clauses for existing video gaming accessory uses. So this would allow it to be permitted use, and obviously, as Spencer just noted, they would still have to get approval through liquor licensing and whatnot. The Planning and Zoning Commission heard this item also on the May 13th meeting, and that was a unanimous recommendation for approval for both items. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion, Scales.
Second, Plowman.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I just have a question, if that's okay. So does this mean that new businesses, we will allow more businesses to come in for gaming? Or, I mean, I get the ones that are there and already have gaming to, grandfather them in, but like, does that mean?
So as we are still prohibiting video gaming cafes throughout the village, so those are just the standalone video gaming places.
Sure.
For video gaming as an accessory use, those are your restaurants that have video gaming. They would still have to go, they'd be permitted through zoning, so if somebody called me, I'd say, yes, you're permitted, however, please contact the deputy liquor commissioner to go through their process. So no matter what, if somebody's making a request for video gaming, they'd still have to come to the village board for approval.
And we can do that. I mean, I just don't want to see more gaming in the downtown area, that, me personally, but.
Yeah, so this change just means they don't have to start 2 or 3 months earlier and go through planning and zoning. They just come right to you to ask for liquor license. And you can say yes or no, based on all the different criteria. So this is just saying, let's just let it be decided by the village board instead of planning and zoning. Is that accurate, Scott?
That's accurate.
They got too much work to do now, as we could tell.
Right? Okay.
All right, thank you. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. We got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Plowman.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, thank you, sir. Moving on. J, engineering agreement, Phase 2 design engineering residential alley reconstruction. Board to consider an ordinance approving an engineering agreement with Thomas Engineering Group LLC for Phase 2 design engineering for residential alley 14N reconstruction. Director Reese.
This is a request to approve the sum of $111,975 for Phase 2 design engineering. This is the alley located between Chicago Avenue, Burlington, Linden, and Warwick, and will include topographic survey, soil borings, detailed design plans, specifications, and special provisions, cost estimates, and bidding assistance. So this is for the alley project that will be constructed in 2027.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion, Scales.
Second, Little.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli.
Yes.
Trustee Plowman.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving right on. K, exercise of option year 1, DuPage County salt bid. Board to consider an ordinance exercising the first option year of the DuPage County salt bid with Compass Minerals. Director Reese.
The Village of Westmont was part of a joint bid with various other agencies led by DuPage County for the purchase of rock salt for winter operations. The original contract was approved by the county board on June 24th, 2025. They've agreed to renew their first option year, which is for the 2026-2027 season with the 5% price increase, which was included in the original contract, while maintaining all other existing terms and conditions. So the new pricing will increase to $74.33 a ton. So they renewed their contract on March 12th, but each partner agency is required to make an independent determination on whether to renew the contract. So we typically buy about 800 tons with the ability to purchase 20% more from them at the same contract pricing. So that's about 160 tons for a total of 960 tons. So we recommend exercising this first option year for an amount not to exceed $72,000. And the new contract will be for the 2026 and 2027 winter season. So they will rebid this contract next year.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second, Little?
Any questions, comments? Other than we don't want to talk about winter? Hearing none, roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
I was
ahead.
say, this is just one season? One
This
winter
is just
season?
some of the salt. We also
Yeah.
buy salt from IDOT.
Yeah.
And we buy liquid calcium chloride.
This is just
Or
part of it.
liquid de-icing materials. So this is just one part of our,
But I mean, it's just for this coming winter, that's it?
yes.
Wow, okay.
Out of
One
salt.
storm could be 50 tons of salt.
Yeah, no, I hear you, I hear
For one storm. Okay.
Crazy.
Hearing no more, roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
you. Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving right on. L, intergovernmental agreement, Southwestmont Fire Protection District. Board to consider an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Southwestmont Fire Protection District for fire protection and ambulance services. Deputy Chief Fitzgerald.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, Village Manager. The village has provided fire protection services and ambulance services to properties located within the Southwestmont Fire Protection District in previous years pursuant to an IGA. The district is a paper district in that it does not own any fire or ambulance vehicles or equipment and does not provide fire protection and ambulance services to residents in the district. But it does have the power to levy taxes on residents within the district for such services. This new IGA continues the services for a 3-year period from 6/1 of 26 to 5/31 of 29. The previous IGA was for a 1-year period. The IGA requires the district to pay $20,000 to the village from its tax levy revenues. This annual payment amount is the same as the amount paid by the district last year to the village. This payment amount is $5,000 less than the district paid in the 2024 to 2025 due to a loss of taxable property caused by recent annexations by the village. The fire department reports that this annual payment amount is sufficient to cover its cost for providing these services.
Thank you, sir. Have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Guzzo.
Second, Little?
Any questions or comments?
I do want to make a comment or two. So first of all, I will just note that we are currently going to be reaching out to them to tweak the terms of the agreement. So the initial draft agreement was just listing $20,000 and sticking with that same amount each year for the next 3 years. And instead, what we're going to be proposing is having it go up by the same percentage that the tax levy can go up, because what we don't want to run into is having those residents be paying over time a lower and lower percentage of the property tax than compared to our residents. And so we want to make sure that it's fair and we're not moving in the wrong direction at least.
Perfect.
So the agreement does say they need to increase their levy by that percentage each year, but we want to make sure, yes, they'll increase their levy and they'll increase the amount they pay us by that same percentage. So we're going to be making that tweak, assuming they agree to it.
And the ordinance that was originally circulated to you was revised kind of late this afternoon to reflect that you're approving the IGA and authorizing Spencer and the fire chief and and myself to negotiate edits to the fees payable by the district, as Spencer just explained. And if the district agrees and it's finalized, then the mayor has authority to sign the finalized agreement.
And if they don't, it comes back to us?
No, if they don't, and the only choice is to sign the IGA as originally drafted, then you've got authority to sign that too.
Okay. Trustee Barker, yes?
Can you tell, I'm sure you can tell, right? You know that, are they paying for the same services? Are they paying less or more than Westmont residents?
So my understanding is their residents pay their district a slightly smaller amount than our residents would be paying. Part of their fee that they pay their district goes to cover their district's legal bills, a little bit of the district administration kind of stuff, as well as giving additional money to the fire department if we need it for equipment and those kind of things as a little bit of discretionary money. However, but they are paying a little bit less than our residents, and the tricky part is there's no way to catch up because of the way that the property tax extension limitation law works, so they can't increase their property tax to match ours. But the benefit to the village is that, as was mentioned, the amount they pay us is a lot more than it costs us to provide service to them. So in that sense, if we say, well, we don't want to do this, we don't want to provide you with this service, then we lose a lot of money and don't reduce our expenses very much. So in essence, the fact that we're doing this ends up subsidizing our fire department and providing better service to our residents because we're doing it than if we stopped doing it. So it's one of those where it helps our residents, but it might feel slightly unfair to them. But it's a benefit to the residents overall.
Spencer, going back then to like Liberty Park, right? They had a paper district there as well.
Yeah, so the way it works with...
What I remember is their county was trying to eliminate the paper districts, and for whatever reason, this one still exists, and we're making the best of it. We're not losing, but it's not equitable in a way.
Yeah, so in Liberty Park, we were able to eliminate it and then do a special service area. The tricky piece to that is Liberty Park, the way that one worked was that district got appointed by the county, and the county got special legislation at the state that said if a paper district is appointed by the county, then the county can choose to dissolve it. This special district is appointed by the township. There's no state legislation that allows that to happen. The only way that district could be dissolved and then a special service area created would be if that district agrees to do that. And because if they left, then they couldn't join Westmont because parts of them are in Darien. They'd have to join Tri-State, which costs a whole lot more than our property taxes. So those residents have no incentive to vote to get rid of what they have right now because we're giving it to them for, half the cost of what they'd be paying if they dissolved and went into Tri-State. So unless there's some new special legislation or anything like that, there's no real way to do for them what we did for the North Special Protection District. And so this is, like you said, we're making the best of it, and it's still a benefit to our residents because the revenue we're generating is more than the expenses, and so really it helps subsidize the benefits for all the residents.
Yeah, thank you.
And final point, the size of this district, the boundaries have been slowly shrinking certainly as Westmont has annexed properties when those properties are wholly surrounded and eligible for annexation. Some of the properties, as Spencer mentioned, are outside of the village's boundary line agreements, so those other municipalities, surrounding municipalities like Darien would have to annex those properties. But once we're down to 0 properties, the district, I think, would automatically dissolve as there's no properties to serve.
So I don't think it will never get down to 0 because lots of the properties are currently in Darien, but Darien does not provide fire service. It's provided by Tri-State. So those will never be annexed into the village because they're actually in the city of Darien.
No, but would Darien annex them ever?
They are incorporated in Darien.
Oh, they are?
Yes, but by being incorporated in Darien doesn't mean that they get out of the district because Darien doesn't provide the fire service. So they're already incorporated, already annexed. Right. Just actually in Darien, which is weird.
For our emergency services like ambulance, we say bill them as non-resident, right?
I think the agreement includes billing them as residents, is that right?
The billing for ambulance fees are all a flat rate now for resident and non-resident. The differences were, do we balance bill for non-residents?
Right.
Residents, we don't, and then for non-residents, we were, but as of our next contract with PBS, will no longer be balance billing at all. And that has a little bit of something to do with the law that's coming up in GEMT. If Chief is here, we can explain a little bit more, but we're still kind of waiting to see what pans out with GEMT. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the laws that we're kind of waiting to see what pans out with the state.
But we do bill them as if they were our residents. That is one of the things that the agreement says. We treat them the same as our residents.
And we're talking about less than 20 calls a year, if that, for those partials.
Yeah, so $20,000 for less than 20 calls a year. That's a good deal.
Thank you.
Good, fair enough. Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on. M, almost there. Wintrust Bank lockbox account. Board to consider a resolution authorizing the establishment of a new lockbox account with Wintrust Bank for ambulance billing payments and authorizing signatories to that account. Director Altek.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. Give a little bit of brief background on what we're doing here. So, as was just alluded to, the village is switching its ambulance billing providers later on this summer to PBS. And so this is a really great benefit to the village. It actually saved the village a little bit of money on these services. So one thing I wanted to point out is one of the new things that PBS is looking for from the village is to create its own unique and distinct separate bank account just for ambulance billing monies to be deposited into, as well as to provide lockbox services from the village's banking institution. So lockbox services basically means that payments will, if someone wants to make a check payment, say someone who has to, say a resident who has to pay a bill to pay off the ambulance ride, those payments will be directed towards a P.O. box where the bank will collect those checks, process those checks, and deposit those monies into this separate bank account. There are fees associated with all this. That could be a few $1,000s a year. That will be new. I do want to point out that PBS is paying the entirety of those fees. So the village actually won't even see that. They'll work with the village's bank, which is Wintrust, and we'll never see it. They'll pay it directly to Wintrust. We won't even be aware. The reason that we need to approve this tonight is Wintrust is requiring that the board approve the opening up of a new and distinct bank account as well as the lockbox services so they can begin to set those up for us on our behalf so we can get everything lined up for when the billing will start later on this summer. So once again, this isn't going to cost the village anything. We will never see those increased fees. And actually, this new contract with PBS will end up saving us money in the long run.
Thank you, sir. Have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Plowman.
Second Little?
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
I am recusing myself.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on. Grand finale, surplus property and Village Hall. Board to consider an ordinance to declare outdated, unused items from the departments in Village Hall as surplus property. Hopefully these chairs are included in it. Government Service Director McCarthy, thanks for hanging all night for this. All right. Are the chairs included?
Yes.
All right.
Quite a few chairs, not just yours.
I think we've got these through their useful life.
I think we have. And there's a bunch of file cabinets in the community room when you're going to your desks. You see them. Those are not used. We have so much electronic filing now that they're really not needed. So
Clean it up.
just a few things to clean out the Village Hall before we remodel, right?
Well,
Any question?
thanks for hanging out all night.
Sure.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Plowman.
Any other comments? Anybody want one of these chairs? We'll get you a good deal.
Mine's probably the worst one.
Yeah, we'll autograph you one, sure.
They are bad.
All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
Motion passes. Can't wait to get rid of them. All right, we do not have any, well, miscellaneous. Any miscellaneous? Anybody? You sure? All right, hearing none, we have no request for executive session.
Hand went up.
Do you know if that's question and answer period? Question and answer? No?
No, open forum is more just where you can say a few things, and still not Q&A though. Okay, great. Well, hearing none, we don't have a request for executive session. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Little.
Second, Plowman.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Pirelli?
Yes.
All right, what a meeting. Meeting is adjourned. Have a good night, everybody.